Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
We do have a bunch of breaking news. I'll get to that kind of the next segment. We're in Overdrive. We're live. Thank you for holding. David in California, you're on the air. Welcome.
Hi, Alex. I've been wondering about a possible big solution. I've been wondering if it's possible to make a mailing list to the top, say, 100,000 influential people in the country, fundraise a few 100,000, and then mail them your upcoming DVD, The Obama Deception. I've seen this kind of thing work, these campaigns, in other nonprofit organizations. So I was just wondering about that.
No, you're right. I just don't know if I personally have the organizational skills. I could probably partner with the folks that put out Dreams of My Real Father. I know they did something similar. Usually it's like films about being scared of Muslims, but then they don't tell you that the government actually runs the radical Muslims. But I know that's been done a lot. And then I would like to hit the 100,000 influential authoritarian liberals, because not all of them are consciously authoritarians, and hit the so-called conservatives. Because, you know, we're always like hitting conservatives to wake them up. But once a Republican gets in, they'll put up with the very same tyranny. I got to say, though, with Obama, I'm even amazed how bad it is. I mean, I'm surprised he's gotten away with this much. But I guess they've got NSA blackmail as the intel we've got. But that's a great idea.
Well, if you ever need any help running that campaign, I've done these before for other groups. You can have me do it part-time here, remote.
Sure. Give us your name and number, and we'll try to give you Rob Dew's private email and send that. Yes, that's what I need is help, expertise, because I'm busy trying to cover the news and research that, and then I've got to run everything else. But in fact, I'm not doing a money bomb this year because we've been able to raise enough money with high-quality products to be able to pay for the rollout and the expansion and the TV stuff, at least for now. We're doing a little bit better than we were. We've been cash-strapped the last year, but we've done some other things, brought in some new products that have helped us out, like the dash cams and the great Nation iodine and the Pro Pure water filters and sponsorship and stuff. But yes, you know, I gave $100,000 to the winner of the films exposing the tyranny, but I don't have the money to do that again. We could probably do a fundraiser. People would give to that to, say, send 5 copies to every member of Congress. And that would be, you know, I guess, how many thousands? That'd be like 3,000 copies or so to send those to Congress. And then maybe send some to all the members of all the state houses. And that does have a big effect. And then, say, send it. That's a great idea. How much will we need to raise to do that? I think to send out about 100,000 DVDs at cost with all the shipping and everything, I'd probably have to raise, what, $500,000? How would that work?
Well, if you can get those out at wholesale cost, then you can probably do it for $1 or $2 per shipping. And
Really?
I've done these on a big scale. I have a lot of experience on this. I'd be more than happy to help you out on it. I've worked with one group that had devastating results. It's very effective. You also want to get it out to police chiefs. You want to get it out to educators. You want to get it out to colleges and universities. You want to get it out maybe possibly even hospitals for the...
Well, how do you do it that inexpensive? I mean, if I print 20,000 DVDs, they're like 70 cents a piece. I mean, so like the DVD, the packaging, you really think you can mail it out for $2 a piece? Wow, that's awesome. So we could fund that with $150,000 then.
Yeah, I've seen, well, the group I worked with actually purchased their own manufacturing equipment, so they had really low rates on their manufacturing cost. And it was an amazing campaign. I'd be happy to run this all for you.
I tell you what, sir, send us your bio and that you've run these campaigns, and we'll try to work it out and hire you. Absolutely, I've thought about that for a decade and just never had the money or I'm too busy trying to make the film. But yes, that's what I want. Because instead of just putting it on YouTube and 20 million people see it and, you know, maybe 50,000 of our listeners buy a DVD, it pays for the film, which is great. And then they make copies, give it to people. We always have the copy thing where people can make copies. That is a great idea. I want to do it. What's your, you want to be public, David? What's your full name?
Oh, sure, go ahead. David Potter.
All right, David, we're going to give us your info, your name and number, and I'll give you the private email during the break, and we'll put you up on the big board to make sure that happens. Infowars.com is down right now. You don't see that too often. We're redesigning the sites right now, so that's making them even better. We'll see what happens with Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Getting into the other news that's out. The New York Times is reporting on what I told you years ago the plan was, because they were public about it on C-SPAN. Security check now starts before you fly. And they're going to use anything like claiming you haven't paid the IRS to not let you fly. There's no judge, there's no jury. They'll just put you on a no-fly list. So this is the total authoritarian enslavement. And the New York Times reports on it like it's fun and safe. And they're going to go through a wide array of government and private databases, mainlining NSA like car registrations and employment information. So there's the mission creep of the new secret police toilet attendant group that is going to rule our lives and run checkpoints. And if you make a joke about it, they're going to arrest you. So that is the word. Just total tyranny. Just bow down, get ready, and they're going to take your pension funds too, and just worship them, worship them. Continuing here with some of the other news that is coming out. Ted Cruz is being attacked, and the website is being run by Nigerian email scammers. That's right, and still no one is able to sign up for it. People that say they have think they have. So they go, oh, I signed up, I'm getting it, and they're going to go, oh, yes. So Cruz says Nigerian email scammers running Obamacare website. And, of course, he's comparing it to that. They're not actually doing it. The glitches, he compared it, the glitches, to the Nigerian email scammers, which people still think is real, by the way. I talk about that a lot because that really is what it's like. And, by the way, if you can't even sign up on it, what happens once there's claims? And I got to tell you, Dr. Blaylock, 6 years ago, when Obama was first elected or about to be elected, he was president-elect, he said, you watch, none of it's going to work. It's designed to wreck everything. And my dad is, well, not anymore. He's phasing it out. In fact, he's 95% of it now. He's a healthcare consultant. And he said, no, the way this is written, you cannot take Medicare and Medicaid and not break a law. And they actually come in and tell the big providers, they go, play ball and be our friends and do what we want, and we won't indict you. We won't take over everything right now. Just do what we say. And people are like, whoa, man, I'm going to retire early. Whoa. And they're like, good, that's what we wanted anyways. Now get out of here. And so, I mean, and they're in there, boy, now they're over your records and over your money and the, yeah. They love it. They love it. And don't complain about it or you're racist. But Obama has now called up Verizon saying that he wants them to fix it. The Spanish website's completely down. Well, I mean, you know, who even needs that? The Spanish site is completely down. In fact, let's click on that and show them that it's down. And continuing here, the world is spending $1 billion per day to tackle global warming that doesn't exist. The world has cooled down. There's a crop of Ted Cruz candidates emerging in 2014. Very exciting. So they're demonizing him right now, including from the Liberty Movement, pointing out that his wife has worked in a division that has been connected to Goldman Sachs. And we know he's a big corporate lawyer. I care about how he votes to defend the Second Amendment, how he barely beat stuff with his vote. I care how he votes to defend our republic and our sovereignty and not legalize 30 million illegals, how he criticizes Obamacare and has filibusters. And the minute Ted Cruz ever deviates off that, then what his wife has done in the past will be appurtenance. But they're now, and I'm not saying it's bad to point out what his wife's doing. We should watch it. But that's why we didn't support him really up front when he was running for Senate. I mean, we supported him over David Dewhurst because he's so horrible, and we know he's bad with Gardasil and TSA groping us and blocking the state law on that. So I supported him but held my nose with a proviso. But I've really been watching Cruz closely, and I like him. I know Rand Paul's good. And look, nobody is going to be perfect. I don't play politics, but they would have gotten their gun control if it wasn't for Ted Cruz and Rand Paul and all of you out there. So I'm just saying, you know, down the road, if I find somebody better than Ted Cruz or Rand Paul, I'll support them over them, even if it was somebody better. Good luck on that. We got Dianne Feinstein to deal with. We got Joe Biden. We got Michael Moore. I mean, I knew this a long time ago, but now I really know it and I'm sure of it. They are flaming authoritarians. They know they're taking over. They know they're evil. They are gangsters following a psych warfare script. They are pigs. They are mercenaries. They are globalist usurpers. Let's go ahead and go to a phone call. Antonio in Texas, thanks for holding. You're on the air. Thank you.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right, brother. Go ahead.
All right. Hey, I was just calling to ask your opinion on something I heard about this comet ISON. I don't know if you heard. This is kind of drumming up a lot of things here, man. I'm like the resident kind of conspiracy theorist, and my brother-in-law called me this past weekend and said, "Have you heard anything about it?" And so I looked into it, and honestly, what I found out about it was there is a lot of propaganda going on. There's a lot of hype. This comet ISON is supposed to create this EMP blast and what have you. But and I just wanted to call to really kind of be grateful for you because I've been listening for so long. You allowed me to really decipher some of the stuff that I was hearing. That, you know, because they have these hour-long things going on of how it really is kind of like 2012 into the world kind of stuff. But I found this guy who is an astrophysicist, James McCanney, who actually, because of you, I was able to decipher that this guy actually has some truth. And what he was saying is, which I found very interesting, is that the comet is doing some crazy stuff in there. It's approaching Mercury, and this upcoming drill that's going to be happening in November is the same day that that this comet is going to be approaching Mercury and going causing the planet to go comet, and after that it plunges into the sun. And I believe what he is saying is that the government possibly could use this as an excuse to, you know, kind of shut things down.
No, sir, listen, I appreciate your call. Good points. You know, you sound really excited about this stuff, and I would be too, because we know if you look at the moon or you look at Earth from satellite, there's craters everywhere. And we get hit every 100 years or so by giant meteorites or asteroids, comets. But I don't think, look, there's too many amateur astronomers, or too many amateur astronomers. They're watching everything. It's amateur astronomers. I can't even talk now, I'm so tired. Astronomers that are the ones that are finding almost all the comets and asteroids and things now. Not the radio telescopes, none of it. And it is a perennial book you can sell. And I'm not saying we were even talking about a bad guy. As I've heard him, I think he's interesting, and he might be right. But, I mean, I have to every year tell someone, no, it's not Planet X. No, it's not the end of the world. No, this comet isn't going to hit us. No, this isn't going to happen. And I just think it's a bunch of hype. Now, there's a comet coming in about a month. They say maybe the biggest ever seen. Ion, I think's the name of it. ISON, and that's certainly interesting. But, and its tail may come across us and may blow out some satellites. Hell, a comet might hit us and blow up like it did in the Yucatan Peninsula and throw up a shroud of dirt that kills the dinosaurs. I don't know. I mean, I'm saying this stuff does happen, but if there's some giant planetoid coming in or a comet or whatever, you're going to see it. And a comet hitting a gas giant, when they've hit Jupiter and Saturn and things and have been observable, it doesn't do anything to our weather. It doesn't affect us. But there you go. Sam in Tennessee, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex.
Hey, buddy.
Yes, I'm a sheriff's deputy. I don't want to say exactly what county I work in, but really disturbing this year, we had in-service, which we have to take every year, and the Department of Homeland Security come in to help with our in-service. Basically, we had 4 hours of class with the Department of Homeland Security, and I don't want to sound racist or anything, but there was no Muslim Brotherhood. There was nothing about Mexican cartels. You know, Black Panthers or nothing. It was basically, what they was pointing out was that they was going after basically like the Tea Party people, the Oath Keepers, the Obama birth certificate people and everything.
Yes, sir. That is the official manuals where all they say the #1 threat is returning veterans, gun owners, Rand Paul, and then they use the IRS on us illegally when we're just Americans. They are the criminals doing that. So how did that go over in your in-service training by the feds?
Well, I mean, as far as us, all of our guys on the sheriff's department, we was so mad. We was seeing red, and it was all I could do to hold back a lot of questions and everything, because You know,
no. It's good you don't do anything because the feds are there assessing you during these meetings. And a lot of the feds aren't bad people, but the ones they send to those are Southern Poverty Law Center, ADL operatives, fifth column. And I know this from the inside. They are marking you in a file if you don't say you love communism, basically. Go ahead.
Yeah, and basically they set up like a gun shows and stuff, and they're really after our Second Amendment rights and everything. And they send Homeland Security ATF agents stuff inside of gun shows, and they try to perpetrate people to act out, you know, to try to get them to talk about the government, to try to, you know, get people in, you know, in
hold on, say that again. Did you say they've got TSA people in the gun shows? Wow.
No, it's more the Department of Homeland Security and everything has a lot of people in gun shows anymore to try to get people talking bad about the government, to try to get them, you know, just to get people on the list and everything. And it's really appalling what they're doing with our Second Amendment rights.
Yeah, what they are is they're secret police going around trying to put people in databases. Good, let's put all them in databases. I mean, let's expose the criminals that have seized our government that are saying that people that want to keep America free are bad. I mean, they've indicted themselves. They are the villains. And they think they're appealed authority because they're the establishment, that then they're allowed to sit there in an army manual and say George Washington is bad. This is disgusting. And no, you're right. Of course there's no Muslim Brotherhood and there's no Al-Qaeda and stuff in there now because they're now, they run those groups. They now are moving over. The communists that the globalists use to take over have always been allied with the radical Muslims. That is a fact. And folks, we're in the middle of a pincer attack here. They want to play us off against normal Muslims who have nothing to do with this. The really radical ones work for the globalists. But let me shut up and have you make any other points from Tennessee as a sheriff's deputy that folks might want to know what's going on.
Well, let all the listeners know there's a lot of good county police officers out there. There's a lot of good deputies out there that, you know, we took our oath to defend the Constitution of the United States, and that's what I'm going to do. And the day they start having me go against the people of this great nation that we have, or ask us to go and start taking people's guns, the day that I turn my badge in. So,
well, God bless you, sir. The problem is that day may be coming. And look, everybody shouldn't feel bad, though, if it comes to this, or whatever we've got to do, because we didn't start this. We're not looking for it. And we're not bad, and I'm sick of hearing we're bad. They're the bad people telling us we're guilty of something when statistically the real Tea Party, the Libertarians, the Constitutionalists, and returning veterans have the lowest crime rate in this country. And they know we're the good guys. They're the bad guys. I mean, it's real simple. They're the bad guys. Everything they do is evil, saying we're bad. I mean, that's pretty cut and dry right there, isn't it? He's gone. It makes me sick. I just, that's why I've psychoanalyzed why I'm always blowing up. Because I'm not happy about this. I'm not out looking for some fight with foreign banks that run giant death squads. I'm not looking for, are you kidding? Man, I was a libertarian, constitutionalist, mainline, you know, right-wing Republican who, they were trying to ban guns in Texas, most guns, and ban junior shooting sports. And I was only a few years out of high school and, you know, had been involved in stuff like that. And they were trying to get rid of property rights, and I went and got involved. And then I found out about everything else. I mean, we are the ones that are being usurped here. And they are trying to wreck the country on record. I mean, when I heard Dr. Blaylock, who's incredibly smart, been involved in medical management and running a health department at a major university, when I heard a top brain surgeon, he's invented a whole bunch of the most commonly used new procedures in brain surgery. I mean, he's a super brain surgeon. And I remember him 6 years ago going, they will bankrupt it, none of it will work by design, then they'll move to the next phase. That guy has read like hundreds of books about communist history, eugenics history, and everything. We got to get Blaylock back on. And I remember going, come on, they just want to socialize it to control people and have death panels. They're not going to totally wreck everything. And he said, no, they want to blow out our political and financial engine. They've almost already brought, and it all came true. I mean, I don't blame the public for not believing this stuff because I can't believe it. I can't believe it's declassified Army manual bad-mouthing the Founding Fathers. and saying, you know, they're preparing for war with the Tea Party. So I don't blame anybody for not believing us, okay? I don't blame you. And let me tell you something. I don't blame you for thinking I'm a liar that vaccines have, quote, adverse effects. Because they say on the news they have no side effects when the insert says they can kill you. I don't blame you thinking I'm a liar, because when you find out they're lying to you, you're going to have to rethink everything. Let's go ahead and take a phone call. James in Florida, thanks for holding. You're on the air.
Hello?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, Alex. I'm a younger listener. I'm 19 years old, and I've been listening to your show for about 6 months now, and I've been awake for about a year, and I just wanted to give you a little insight on the younger community that's, like, growing up in this age of globalism and how we're all being suppressed by, like, the college and stuff. Everybody in the education system is just pushing down just liberalism in general. And
yeah, authoritarianism, that's because you're their food. See, they've told all the yuppies and people and all the baby boomers, you're going to have to enslave, because there's less of them than there are of the baby boomers, you're going to have to enslave the young people to pay for all your giant pensions and stuff. Of course, the bankers are going to steal all that because they want to politically control people. They've done this in other countries. We know where we are on the program. I mean, it's like we're reading a movie script or something, or a program at a play. We know what's coming up next in Romeo and Juliet. We know what's coming up next. So, yes, sir. And it's the young people bamboozled by the young, trendy, hip black president, when he's not even really black in my view, more like some space alien, you know, yuppie or something. And he's there just ramming this down as the front man, and they're all dancing, feeling trendy and stuff, having no idea they're being shut up. But go ahead. I'm sorry, I'm ranting.
I agree with you full-heartedly, but there are people that are starting to see what's going on. Like, it's just obvious now. The propaganda in the textbooks are getting really bad. In my textbook for this government class that I'm taking this semester, it's going over the Bill of Rights, and where it comes to the Second Amendment, it's all just propaganda about school shootings. It doesn't even go over the Second Amendment. It just talks about shootings that have happened with guns. It's quite frankly.
Yeah, what they do is they create the perception of mass shootings increasing, when mass shootings, even adding gang-related, are slightly up the last 10 years, down since 1992, but overall crime with gun is down 49%. So the truth is, overall, people using guns in criminal activity, home invasions, carjackings, every other major crime, carjackings are down over 80% nationwide. Look it up. You know why? Because they know people are packing. You know where they're up? Chicago, New York, D.C. Man, if I lived in D.C., I'd be breaking the law all day. I mean, it's better to be, you know, tried by 9 than, you know, buried by 6. What's the saying? It's, yeah, because 6.
Tried by 10, carried by 8, or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's better. I mean, plus I wouldn't live there. Well, God bless you, sir. Good to hear from you, James. Just fight back however you can, my friend. Speak out. We're making Obama deception, too, to try to expose it to people. And we're show them the first Obama deception. They'll see it and go, wow, this all came true. Tell them about the radio show. But listen, it seems like yesterday I was 15 years old. I'm 40 in a couple of months. I'll be 80 before I know it. You think you're different because you're young. You're going to wake up and be an old man. And all you young people see what anybody who's older is up here saying, and think, oh, that's some old guy with that gravelly voice. I'm not an old guy. I'm just a human being just like you. I bet I know how to have more fun than you do. Let's go ahead and talk to Julian in Texas. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Alex.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, man. How's it going?
Pretty good, my friend. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say I appreciate everything you're doing. I know the extra time you're putting into this, all the time you take to talk to everybody and stuff. But I wanted to point out something. You talk about GMOs, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you are what you eat, basically. HEB is a big supermarket, basically, in Texas. I'm pretty sure you know that, right? Yes,
absolutely. It stands for Howard E. Butts.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if anybody's brought this point up, but I was going to bring the idea of starting a petition to have GMOs labeled in HEBs.
I agree, because we can't get it done at the state level anywhere because of lobby those companies to make it more clear and better. That's a great idea.
Yeah, and I live in a small town just 20 minutes away from Brownsville. It's called Harlingen. And all we have is a Walmart and an HEB here, and a Costco is being built. And I'm pretty sure Walmart is filling us with crap, you know, stuff filled with GMOs.
Well, there's no doubt HEB's better than Walmart. God bless you. I got to jump. By the way, my grandmother was asked out by Howard E. Butts, that owns that giant chain at Baylor University, and did not do it. And I'm glad she didn't, or I would not exist. Instead, she decided to go out with the football player from the University of Texas, so who was roommating with the Tom Landry. Isn't that weird? Oh, this is a small world, man. Anyways, my grandma also knew LBJ's Hitman. That's another story. You know what? I'm out of time, folks. My grandmother's still alive. She's 90 years old. I need to go over there and see her. She just had her birthday. Kenny and Doug and Anthony, I'm out of time. I've done 3.5 hours. I'm getting a little bit dingy. I shot the 50 cal, hip held, felt great, shot a whole bunch of rounds. Totally threw my back out. I got out of bed this morning, and I've never had it before where my muscles are all tensed up, and I'm like, I've really messed myself up. So the real pain begins getting out of this chair here in a minute. But that's with McAfee. We're going to have some of the interview out tonight, but the shooting will be tomorrow, maybe even on the radio show / TV, or maybe the nightly news, but that's going to be newsmaking. We got McAfee shooting a 50 handheld.